Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for tuning in to this live webinar on how to create your first YouTube video. I am your host, HeatherJustCreate. And as I don't know if you guys are here peeking in the chats, that I just said that I was nervous because, this will be a first for both of us. You guys are here to learn how to make your first YouTube video, which I'm super excited to tell you about. But actually, this is technically my first official webinar. I've done, literally hundreds of vlogs and videos and live streams and Facebook lives and YouTube lives and all of that. I've also done coaching and trainings in person and workshops, but I haven't done an official webinar. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm also very excited to talk to you guys today about how to make your first YouTube video, because I know when I was first starting YouTube, or even thinking about it, and I just had the idea, I had no idea how easy and how possible it was to be able to make an impact in this way. And I wasn't even aware of all of the opportunities and the potential that I've been able to have access to because of my YouTube channel. And so that's what I want to share with you today, and hopefully empower you to, after this webinar, go and make your first video, or take the weekend and actually make your first video, because that really is the first step to everything. And with that said, as soon as this webinar is over, I will be sending you the replay. It'll be up here on this link, available for you to watch for the next 48 hours. And of course, if you want to share it to a friend, feel free to do that as well. You guys can make YouTube videos together. Also, of course, we're live. So if you have any questions or comments that you want me to see, I am doing a Q&A at the end of the webinar, so if there's any questions, feel free to save them for then. But I'll also be peeking in the comments in case you guys have any immediate questions. There is about a 30-second delay, which feels like an eternity from when I'm talking to when you guys see it. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. I just don't see it yet. So just FYI. Now, before we get started, I just want to make sure that you guys are in the right place. So, here we go. Boom. If any of these apply to you, let me know in the comments. First, you are in the right place if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but there's no way you're going to admit that out loud, because what? You're trying to be a YouTuber now? I completely get that. I was almost embarrassed to admit that, yes, I did want to take YouTube seriously, but YouTube gets a bad rap. And it's kind of a weird thing to tell people, like, yeah, I want to start this YouTube channel, because it comes off like you're saying you have all this content worth watching, except that your life isn't that exciting. So you're not even sure what you would make YouTube videos about. What would your channel be about that's different and unique from everything that's already out there? Is your idea for a channel something that people would want to subscribe to? And honestly, I didn't go into YouTube thinking that my journey was worth watching. It was really more of a way to document my journey for myself. But maybe you have an idea for a channel, but do you really want to put yourself out there to be judged by everyone? People you know in real life, the strangers of the internet, and of course those scary, infamous trolls we always hear about, because yes, they are definitely out there. For me, it was actually the people I knew in real life that scared me the most. I didn't want, my family members, my friends, colleagues, to see my silly YouTube videos. The same comment that I would get from a troll is going to hit me differently than if it came from somebody that I knew. So I definitely didn't start out, broadcasting my YouTube channel to everyone that I knew. But maybe you could deal with the judgment. And the bigger issue for you is time. Where are you going to find the time to make videos and build a channel between your full-time job and family, friends, and just life stuff in general? You have a big learning curve. I know that. You probably have to learn how to edit videos. You have to learn how to talk in front of the camera. You have to learn how to record videos on your phone. And honestly, it took me probably about a year and a half to really feel my stride as a YouTube creator. So I completely get it. Either way, you haven't actually started that YouTube channel you've been thinking about because, whatever, it's just YouTube, right? Maybe you get to it, maybe you don't. There's always tomorrow, next week, or next month. Now, if any of these sound like you are in the right place because I have felt all of these things too. These are exactly the same things that were holding me back from actually pushing record and upload. But by making my first YouTube video, I began a journey that allowed me to take my channel that had just been sitting there since I created it on New Year's Eve in 2005. Not sure why I was making a YouTube channel on New Year's Eve, but this channel had 0 videos, 0 subscribers, and 0 views. And my first YouTube video helped me take this same empty channel to a channel that allows me to share my story and make an impact on thousands of people all around the world. And today, I'm going to show you how you can also take that first step and make your first YouTube video. So if you're ready, let's see those hands up in the comments, throw up an emoji, but this might be awkward because of the 30-second delay. So if I don't see emojis, I'm going to assume you're very excited and I just don't see them yet. All right, hello. Gary is here, locked and loaded with enthusiasm. Regier Educational Services, woot woot, Adoji, hello. Awesome, good to see you guys here. All right, so like I said, today I'm gonna show you how easy it is to finally make that first YouTube video and begin this journey. But that being said, when you upload that video to your YouTube channel, are you going to see fame and fortune overnight? If you build it, they will come, right? No. Unfortunately, that is not how it works with YouTube and actually a lot of other things in life. Even though there are plenty of creators who have built empires on the platform, even kids have really huge channels. But the fact is, there are 400 hours of content being uploaded to YouTube every single minute. And actually, this might have gone up since the last time I checked. So not only will you be competing with everything that's already on the platform, you're going to be competing with everything that's going to be uploaded. So you're going to be competing with everything else that's already on there and everything that's coming new. So making that first YouTube video can really be the start of something absolutely incredible, but it does come down to you actually taking that first step. That's exactly what happened to me. So I want to tell you a little bit about where I was when I was feeling exactly like you do now and how I got to the point of finally making my first YouTube video and embarking on this journey. In 2016, I was in my 10th year of a marketing and communications career, and my last job was at a private school for grades 6 through 12. And as part of my job, I was always walking around with my camera and my phone and posting to the school social media. And it didn't take long for the students to start coming to me with their digital media questions, like, how can I showcase my skateboarding or singing or whatever talent online? How can I use LinkedIn to connect with college reps or potential employers? How can I create a website portfolio of my projects and artwork and resume? That's when it occurred to me that not only was there no computer literacy class on campus like the one I took when I was in high school, there was no class that replaced it. And if anything, the messaging that the students were getting from the adults was just get off your phone, the internet is dangerous, cyberbullying, screen time addiction, and all of these horrible things. Yet, here I was pretty much solely relying on digital media tools for my entire career. So, who was showing these students how to use these tools positively and productively? No one. That's when I came up with the idea of Sharespark Media, a movement to educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. I wanted to create a resource that would promote digital literacy, not just to students, but to anyone who wanted to learn how to share their stories through new media so they could spark their potential. Now, while all of this was happening, a 6th grader introduced me to the idea of vlogging. YouTube was not in my plan at all. I had no intention of starting a YouTube channel or anything because it didn't even occur to me that I could have a legit channel like the ones I was watching. It's kind of like a TV show. I don't watch TV or watch a TV show thinking, hey, one day I'm going to have a TV show. And of course, I'd been watching several vlogs for years and years, but I didn't realize that that's where they were because this new genre of not just documenting your life in a journey or in a diary for yourself, but to a community of people who can feel like they are on a journey with you, this was a completely new concept that really intrigued me. And it really did take this 6th grader explaining it to me because I saw how connected he felt to the vloggers he watched, even though he would probably never meet them. And I started to do a little more digging on YouTube. I went to the channels of the creators that I watched, and I decided to sort their videos from oldest to newest. So going back into the archives and seeing what they first created. And it's so clear that all of them started from zero. And a lot of them made their videos even though they knew that no one was watching. That didn't stop them from creating. And seeing that enabled me to put myself in their shoes and realize that these big channels that I'm watching, they don't get built overnight. They all started from zero. And that's exactly where I was, not just on YouTube, but in my life, because I decided to quit my job and work on building Sharespark Media full time, all the while documenting my entrepreneurial journey through vlogs on YouTube. And I cannot emphasize this enough when I say I had no idea what I was doing, not just with YouTube, but as a newbie entrepreneur. But I uploaded my first vlog to YouTube on April 16th, 2016, and you guessed it, no one watched at first. But as of today, my channel has 422 videos and live streams, over 6,550 subscribers, over 575,000 channel views, and people have spent over 2.4 million minutes watching the content on my channel. And honestly, as I've been preparing this webinar, I keep having to update these numbers because they increase every hour. But these are my stats as this morning. Now, compared to much larger channels like famous YouTuber status, these numbers are relatively small. They're not in the millions or hundreds of thousands and stuff. But through my channel, I'm doing exactly what I set off to do, which is promote digital literacy, and on a much larger scale than I ever could have without this platform. My goal was never to be a rich and famous YouTuber. I just wanted a place to document my journey. And by sharing my journey on YouTube, I've been able to inspire and motivate people all around the world. And it's so crazy that I've been able to do this. It really is something that I am very thankful for and I never take for granted. And I really had no idea of the potential and the opportunities that would come when I first started, because otherwise I would have started this in 2005 when I first made my channel. And these are just a few of the comments that I receive on my channel every single day. Comments that say things like, your passion and ability to do what you need to do and help people is overwhelmingly strong and hard not to pick up and try for myself. Your words are so powerful. I had chills the whole time listening to this. I'm so glad I found your channel. I started to cry just hearing someone else say so many things that I can relate to. I'm surprised at how a random channel I found on YouTube seemingly aligns with my own life, values, and more. I never thought I could connect in this way with people, but YouTube is now the foundation of my business and what I do full time. Even though when I started, I didn't have a fancy camera, I had never made a YouTube video, and I didn't have an existing online audience. The camera I'm using this picture is like one of my first YouTube videos. It's the same camera I use to this day. It's an old Canon point and shoot that they don't even make anymore because it's that old. So really it does just come down to you making that first video. And even though no one watched my first video at first, it changed my entire perception of how I saw YouTube and the content that I could potentially create. I realized that making content where I was just keeping it real and being myself, that was going to be the thing that people connected with. And this was a huge revelation for me because remember, I have a marketing background. My entire career is based around showing the best sides of a business. So this idea of, keeping it real and authenticity, that was the thing that I would grow an audience around. Very scary, but also kind of liberating. I also learned that I didn't need to have pro equipment or pro editing skills because the DIY-ness almost added to this story. Especially if you discover my channel now and you look back to this first YouTube video, you can compare just the polish and the growth. And that is, a real visual example of my journey. Even though I'm using the same camera. Also, it made me realize how people use YouTube, not just for entertainment, not just to watch something, but to get answers, to learn something, for advice, motivation, encouragement, information. And a lot of times people come to YouTube to feel like there's at least one other person out there going through what they're going through. So, as an example of all of this, not even 6 months into my entrepreneurial journey, I hit the point where I ran out of money. And this was definitely not something I wanted to put out there, especially since everyone else my age was getting married and starting families and had very successful careers with salaries and benefits. So I hit a turning point. I could either give up and get a job or find something to make ends meet so I could keep going. And I decided that I didn't want to give up just yet. And that's when I discovered Postmates. If you haven't heard of Postmates, Postmates is an app like Uber Eats where you can get things delivered to you like food and Starbucks and groceries and stuff like that. Basically, you just order stuff through an app and a Postmate delivers it to you. So I was super reluctant at first to sign up as a Postmate because, I'd quit my marketing career to set off on this amazing entrepreneurial journey in this new venture, but I'd seemingly failed because I ran out of money. And now I was going to be delivering food to people. So I definitely didn't want anyone to know, but hey, it was all part of the journey, right? On September 11th, 2016, I decided to upload my first vlog about Postmates. And on September 23rd, I did a second vlog. And again, at first, no one watched these videos. But then, here's a graph showing the views that this video has received every day since I uploaded it on September 23rd, 2016. You'll see that no one really watched it at first, but ever since I uploaded this video, not a day goes by where this video doesn't get at least 150 views every single day, even though it's over 2 years old. So over time, this video has generated over 185,000 views on my channel, many of which come from exactly my target audience because a lot of the people that do Postmates are also entrepreneurs, which is what my channel is mainly about. Now, here's a graph displaying the number of minutes that people spend watching my channel every day, the watch time. You'll see no one watched at first, but now my channel is at a point where people spend at least 2,500 minutes or 40 hours every single day watching the content on my channel. And that's on a bad day. That's on days where I don't even upload anything. This channel, I really took a break to kind of reevaluate things with my business. So I wasn't uploading as frequently as I used to, but it doesn't matter. The watch time is still there. People still continue to discover my channel and watch the videos that I posted, including my first one. So a lot of the times, the watch time goes beyond that. And that's my favorite part about YouTube. It might not seem like anyone is watching at first, but your videos have the potential to be seen and make an impact for as long as they are on your channel. It really does come down to you making that first YouTube video because look, this is a screenshot that I took yesterday, which shows the number of views that I've gotten in the last 28 days from my very first vlog that I uploaded on April 16, 2016. It is still getting new views. So now it's your turn. How can you make your first YouTube video? Now that we have Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms that have incorporated video on their platforms, and because most of us have a device that records video in our back pocket, you've probably all made at least one video before. But there is a difference between making a video and then making a YouTube video. It's not a big difference from a production standpoint, but it's the approach, the intention, and really seeing yourself as a YouTube creator before pushing record. So for the rest of this webinar, I'm going to show you my 4 tips on how you can make your first YouTube video. First, let's start with a practical. Tip number 1, make a video with what you have. One of the most common questions I get is, what is the best camera for YouTube? This is my budget. What can I buy to make my videos look better? My answer is the best camera is the one that you have. Investing in a super expensive camera doesn't mean that you're going to make a better YouTube video. It's like going to the gym. Getting a membership at a fancier gym doesn't mean that you're going to get a 6-pack abs faster. Because for YouTube and vlogs and these new media types of videos, story and content is more important than production quality. Take it from the man who arguably defined vlogging. If you can tell a great story, people will forgive everything. Bad cinematography, bad sound, bad everything. People will forgive that if the story is great. Adversely, if the story is weak or if the story is not there, it doesn't matter how pretty it is. It doesn't matter how much money you spend on the fanciest, no one gives a poop emoji. Story is king. This is from Casey Neistat. Probably, one of the biggest inspirations behind me starting my YouTube channel. He's also one of the biggest YouTube vloggers on the platform, and really, he defined the genre of vlogs as we know them. But he also has a professional filmmaker background. He had a show on HBO. He's directed and written and produced and stuff like that. So this is coming from him. Now, let me show you an example of this. You don't need fancy to make fancy. These are my friends, James and Mark, and this is a screenshot from their very first video that they uploaded on June 17th, 2016. You can see that this was just filmed on their phone. It's in portrait orientation or vertical video. There's really nothing fancy about it, but at this point, James and Mark didn't even have an idea for a channel. They honestly made this particular video to participate in the Sharespark challenge that I was hosting. But both of them, they have full-time jobs working for nonprofit organizations. So unlike me, they didn't have plans to quit their careers and put all this time into building a huge YouTube channel. They just wanted to do it for fun. And in watching me share my story and figure out my YouTube channel, that made them want to try too. So fast forward to today. They totally surpassed me in subscribers and views, which I'm super proud about. Here's a screenshot from one of their more recent videos. They ended up building a mukbang channel on YouTube, which is a genre of online video where the creator eats in front of the camera and just talks to their audience. The viewers of this genre feel like they are having dinner with friends. It's a very unique and personal connection. And it's just a really interesting type of video, but it speaks to that connection that can be made through YouTube because you really get to know someone when you're eating with them. And that's how James and Mark's viewers feel when they're watching their videos and their live streams. And even though they had no idea what their YouTube channel would look like when they first made their video, you'll see that this particular video has almost 165,000 views. And as of today, James and Mark have over 8,600 subscribers, over 1.3 million views on their channel. And, honestly, this has probably all gone up since I made this webinar presentation. I checked their subscribers. They got another 100 before I went live right now. And also people send them food from all over the world. They had to set up a PO box so that people can send them stuff to try on their channel. So again, oh yeah, there's our PO box if you want to send them something. So again, for your first video, the best camera is the one that you have. So if it's your phone, that's completely fine. Do not think that you are at a disadvantage. Now, for video length, people always ask me, how long should I make my YouTube videos? What's the sweet spot? My answer is the ideal video length is however long it takes you to tell your story. If you're doing an in-depth tutorial about how to edit an iMovie, for example, that video might be 15 to 20 minutes long. But if you are doing a video about your 5 tips on making better pictures, that might only take you 5 to 7 minutes to explain. I know for me, I've watched videos that are upwards of an hour, and I was engaged, I didn't click out or anything, but because I knew what I was watching, and it did take that long for the creator to get through that content. So you just want to be aware of the goal of your video. What is the message you are trying to convey, and what do you need to show to your audience? Then use however short or however long it takes to convey that message and tell the story to your viewers. Also, you don't need to edit your videos to get your point across. For a lot of people, editing is essential. Like for me, I can't imagine not editing. But it completely depends on your content. You might not need to edit at all, at least to start. Like for Mark and James, they did very little editing, and even now, their editing is relatively minimal. But that's fitting for their content and their channel. So when it comes to creating your first YouTube video, I want you to remember that production quality really comes down to your style as a creator. And because you don't know what your style is yet, you don't want to let these things hold you back. Your style is going to develop as you make more videos. And of course, there are trends and best practices and stuff like that, but there's always exceptions to these rules. So really make your first video with what you've got. Moving on. Tip number 2, share what you're excited about. One of the most common questions I get is, what should I make a YouTube video about? People have this idea for an overall channel, but when it comes to actually creating that first piece of content that's gonna go on this channel, that's where everyone gets stuck. And I get it, because when you're just starting out and you have a completely blank channel, it can be very intimidating and overwhelming to figure out what's the first piece of content that's gonna be on there. And you wanna take all this time to make sure that that first piece of content is absolutely perfect. But here's what I want you to think about. Perfect for who? Who are you trying to make this video perfect for? Because if you are starting from zero, then no one's gonna watch your first video, at least not yet. I promise you, when you push upload for the first time, no one is going to care because no one knows about your channel yet. So have fun and share what you are excited about, because this is judgment-free time. There's no one to tell you that your first video sucked. You don't have to worry about likes and subscribers and comments or any of that stuff, because your first video is really about establishing yourself as a creator on the platform to yourself. Making that first video will help you figure out what your next video is going to be about, and then your next video, and then that's when your vision for your channel will start to take shape. Like for my friend Tom. Tom came up with an idea called the Enthusiasm Project back in 2010, literally based on this idea of sharing what he was enthusiastic about. It started out as a blog, and then it was going to be a podcast, and then finally the idea morphed into a YouTube channel. Tom has also been making videos since he was a kid. I mean, he had old school camcorders and tape and stuff like that. He was also doing freelance photography and videography, so I mean, if we're talking about pro equipment and pro editing skills, this is someone who had that. He had what it took to make a good YouTube video, but still, it was reason after reason for never actually hitting upload. Tom is also a full-time high school teacher who teaches digital media production, so his YouTube channel was really supposed to serve as a creative outlet for him. Nothing he was going to quit his job to pursue. But in July 2017, something changed. Last summer, Tom got his first drone, which he was super excited about, to the point where he also went and got his drone license. And that's when he decided he would make his first YouTube video about how to pass the drone certification test. And creating that first video was enough to get him to make a few more videos, but then a month later, he met me. Tom saw how I was using YouTube to share my story, so he started asking me questions about how to actually build a channel and whether his ideas for videos were good enough and stuff like that. He loves to quote me that when we first met, my answer to everything was make a vlog, start a vlog, go create a vlog. Because I know, and I've always felt this, that so much of what holds people back is just overthinking. So on August 21st, 2017, just a year ago, Tom embarked on a 30-day upload challenge, which took away this perfection that he was constantly striving for with every video he tried making, especially when it came to production, because that's his background, videography. He wanted every single video to look absolutely perfect. But setting a goal of uploading a video every single day allowed him to shift the focus of his videos to the content that genuinely excited him versus high production quality that takes a lot of time to create. Tom not only completed this challenge, but he developed his own style of creating on YouTube and really honed in on what he wanted his channel to be about. Most importantly, he was finally able to do what he set out to do years ago, which was share things he was enthusiastic about. And it didn't take long for his audience to build. At 300 subscribers, Tom got his first brand deal from a company that reached out to him. Building a YouTube channel has also helped him grow as a high school teacher, because now his students can actually see his own work that he's continually doing and see what he does for the things that he teaches in his classroom to them every single day. He's also built a thriving community about 3D printing and tech and other things he's passionate about. And that first video he uploaded ended up becoming one of his most viewed videos on his channel that still gets new views to this day. So, I want you to know, these things do not happen overnight, but they do happen. So, make your first video about something that excites you. even if it doesn't necessarily fit your final vision of this amazing YouTube channel. Because when you do this new thing of making a YouTube video, you focus and you focus on something that you're excited about, the entire process is going to be a lot less daunting and a lot more fun. Also, excitement is an emotion that's easily translatable through video. How many times do you guys watch a video and just feel excited, sometimes even motivated to go do something and take action? Remember, it's not about production, it's about connection. So pretend your phone or your camera is me or whoever. Pretend it's a friend that you haven't seen in a while and you're just excited to catch up with them. Like for me, I'm seriously like genuine about this. You guys are here in this webinar trying to learn how to make your first YouTube video, and I have no idea who you guys are. And you have the opportunity to go to my YouTube channel and learn all this stuff about me and my journey, but I don't have that about you yet. And it's totally my goal to empower you to make your YouTube videos. So if I had the opportunity to meet each one of you in person, I would love to just learn who you are, what you're doing, what are your goals, what are you thinking that you're going to use YouTube for. I have genuine excitement for meeting you. So you have a unique perspective, this unique story, and if you share that, just share what you are excited about in your everyday life. No one else has to be excited about it. That's fine. As long as you're excited about it, it will translate to your viewers regardless if you know what you're doing or not. Tip number 3. Share what people ask you about. Now, the other common question I get when people ask me about YouTube is how to get over camera shyness. A lot of people look at my channel, they'll look through my videos, and they'll be like, oh, easy for you to say, you're charismatic, you like being on camera, this comes easy to you. No, the confidence to be able to comfortably talk to an inanimate object like it's my friend was definitely not there when I first started. And clearly it's not even really here on this webinar because I'm still nervous doing this webinar in front of a laptop. Just imagining that you guys are all there super paying attention, right? It comes with practice, which is why if you are camera shy and you're nervous about making an entire video that seems like it's just gonna be me, then start out by making a tutorial type video. Share what you know, how to do this or that, your top 10 tips about this or that, things you wish you knew before doing something, stuff like that. Think about what people ask you in real life and make a video about that, because it's easier to give instructions about something and take the focus away from you and make it about whatever you are teaching. Like for my friend Carissa, who's actually here in the chat. Carissa is a serial entrepreneur. She runs 4 businesses, including a restaurant and a stationery company. And she also has a blog where she shares tips and motivation to other entrepreneurs. So if we're talking about time being a constraint, Carissa is literally one of the busiest people that I know. So you can totally throw that excuse out the window. She still makes it happen. Carissa started working on her YouTube channel to supplement her blog. And one of the things that people constantly ask her about is productivity and workflow for entrepreneurs. So last year, that's what she started blogging and vlogging about on her YouTube channel. Now, video's not something that comes naturally to Carissa. She's told me that many times, but she gave herself a chance to make videos about what she was kind of already doing through her blog. And she started to make videos about different apps that she uses to stay organized. As of today, actually, as of the screenshot, she has 116 subscribers. I know this has gone up, but you'll see here that her video about using Todoist and Evernote shows up on the first page of YouTube search results. And that video has about 7,500 views and still gets new views to this day. So the number of subscribers you have does not limit the potential that your videos can make. But more importantly for Carissa, if you go to her YouTube channel, you won't see vlog style type of content because that's just not her. That's not the kind of content that she creates. She's a lot more tutorial and motivational based, and she focuses on empowering others based on her experience. So if people normally ask you about something, even if it's a hobby or a passion or anything that you're excited about, then you already have a target audience that would be invested in your content, because if one person has a question about that, then someone else does. Also, a lot of times you don't even need to show your face if you don't want to. You could just record whatever it is that you're trying to explain. You just aim the camera. If you're doing something hands-on, just focus on that. Or you could do a screen share, kind of like this webinar. I didn't have to show my face if I didn't want to. It's up to you. So, moving on. Lastly, tip number 4, document the journey. If you still don't know what to make your first YouTube video about, you could do what I did and document a journey. Now, it doesn't have to be as dramatic as quitting your job and becoming an entrepreneur and doing all of everything I'm doing. But even finding something for lunch can be a journey because it all comes down to storytelling. Stories are how we communicate. If you frame your content in the format of a story as you're creating it, it'll be easier for you to create and easier for your viewer to connect with. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. That is the basic framework for every single story you have heard, watched, seen, etc. And this might seem elementary, but again, it's about the approach and being aware of this format as you are recording your videos. In the process of documenting something, there's a natural story built in because you establish a starting point, an end point, and you show the progress from one to the other. Now, you could do this in one video or multiple videos or in an entire channel. For example, this is my first vlog. Back then, no idea what my channel would look like because I didn't even know what my journey would look like. But that's what I wanted to establish in my video. I just wanted to convey to anyone who was watching that this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and this vlog would document how I would get there. And I knew this video was going to set the precedent for my channel. Now, here's vlog number 2. And in a lot of ways, this vlog was a lot harder for me to make because in the first vlog, I knew all I had to talk about was my new venture. But for the second vlog, I had to actually start showing the doing part, but I didn't know what that looked like yet. I didn't know what part of the doing I was supposed to show. So I decided to just talk about how I was feeling. It took me over 30 minutes to film less than 4 minutes of footage, but going back to storytelling, the beginning of this vlog is just me talking about all of the doubt I had for entrepreneurship, how I shifted my mentality, and how I overcame that doubt to take the next step. And that leads me to my final takeaway. If there's one thing you take away from this webinar, let it be this. You have nothing to lose. Maybe give yourself a chance and you make that first YouTube video and you find that, this isn't for you. No big deal. Delete the video, move on to the next thing. But at least you can say to yourself, hey, this isn't for me. I'm going to take it off my list. But I will tell you right now, I started from zero. Everyone I mentioned in this webinar started from zero. And these are all screenshots from our very first YouTube videos. We were using our phones. We were using what we had. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what our channels would look like. And it wasn't long ago when we felt exactly the same way you do. But you have a story worth sharing. You do. And if you give yourself the chance to share that story, it could lead to something absolutely incredible. These are screenshots of our more recent videos, and it just makes me so proud to see how far each of us has come because I know the impact that we've been able to make literally on a global scale because we took a leap and made that first YouTube video. And here's the secret. We still have no idea what we're doing, but in a different way, in that now we know the potential of YouTube. We've seen it, we've felt it, and now it's more about which step we want to take next, which direction we want to pursue, how we want to continue making an impact on this platform, what content we want to create, all of that stuff. And I promise you can do this too. So take the first step, go make your first YouTube video. But beware, after you make that first YouTube video, everything is going to shift. Instead of spending all this time thinking about that one single video, suddenly everything is going to become an idea for a video. And then it's a matter of how to create all of this content and all of the ideas that you're coming up with as efficiently as possible. Making a video is weird because you've never done it before. That's really all it is. And once you do it, everything you're worrying about right now disappears. Instead, there's a whole new set of things you're going to be thinking about. Mainly, how do you manage your ideas into a production schedule that grows your channel but keeps you sane? It takes hustle, it takes hard work, it takes time to make videos, grow a channel, and build an audience, but it is possible with a plan. So, if you want to learn exactly how I built my channel and grew a community on YouTube straight from my experience, my online course will show you exactly how I went from zero to YouTube hero. I created this course to help people like you get to where I am faster. You don't have to figure things out. You can learn from the mistakes I've already made. I can't tell you like how much time I spent watching other tutorials and experimenting and learning as I was doing, but that's why I wanted to create a guide map that people can use step by step so that they can share their story on YouTube as creatively and efficiently as possible. First, yes, learn how to create a YouTube channel from scratch. So first, I will show you everything you need to know about YouTube. Using YouTube as a creator is definitely different from the viewer experience. So I start off by showing you what you need to know about YouTube, specifically about becoming a creator on the platform today in 2018. And I just recently went to VidCon. This is the biggest online video conference ever. There's like 30,000 people there. And it just was, everyone agreed that this is the best time to start a YouTube channel. I'll also show you how to set up and optimize your channel, including which settings should be turned on and off, where to find all of these settings. There's like 4 different pages to find all of these settings and how you can change them and stuff like that. Then I'll show you how to use the YouTube Creator Studio, which is the backend of YouTube where you push upload, you moderate your comments, and you view your analytics. Next, I'll break down how to create the most common types of YouTube videos because the type of YouTube video might vary. Well, it's definitely going to vary depending on your content. You might want to make vlogs, you might want to make tutorials, maybe you're doing comedy and parodies or commentary or unboxings, and I'll break down those most common types of videos with you. And then we'll talk about YouTube's policies and guidelines so that you follow the rules and prevent any copyright strikes or flags. I know for me, when I made my first YouTube video, there's literally 45 seconds of just complete silence because I was so paranoid of getting a copyright strike. So I didn't include any music at all. And that's definitely something I'm going to talk about, is where you can get copyright-free music to enhance your videos. Then we'll tackle production. Of course, content is king before production, but if you can have better production, it doesn't hurt. And there's a lot of tips and tricks and free, easy things that you can implement to improve the production of your videos. So I'll show you how to record videos even if you only have a smartphone. I'll show you how to get over camera shyness and build that confidence to talk to your audience, different types of equipment and accessories you can get to enhance your production, how to edit your videos using free apps and programs, and how to add music to your videos. Then we'll go into uploading. A lot of people think that production is the hardest part about making YouTube videos, but it's the uploading process that's really the thing that helps your videos get discovered long after they are uploaded. So you can keep building your audience, and those videos can keep working for you 2 years from now, just like my videos. The process of uploading also takes a lot longer than just pushing that red button. So I'll show you how to optimize your videos for the YouTube search engine, how to select effective video tags, how to add titles, text, and thumbnails to your videos, how to add end cards and end screen elements to your videos so you can increase your watch time, and then how to upload and share your videos. Now, in the 4th level, we'll talk about the most important factor behind your YouTube channel, you, the brand behind the channel. I'll show you how to create an online personal brand, how to convey that brand through your YouTube channel, and how to identify a target audience for your content. And then in level 5, I'll break down my pre-production process so that you can maximize the time you dedicate to creating and uploading. When you first start, you won't have a rhythm of, the equipment that you're going to need to record every time, or your signature script, or, knowing whether you're going to say, give this video a thumbs up, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later. You don't have that yet. So I'll show you how to develop a creative strategy, how to tell a story through online video, how to create captivating videos, and how to outline and script your videos to make this entire process more seamless. Then it'll be about rinsing and repeating. Now, one of my favorite parts about YouTube is that communication is two-way. So even though you're the one creating and uploading these videos, it won't be long until you start gaining some loyal subscribers, which is why I have a whole section dedicated to community building. I'll show you how to analyze your metrics and data, how to create a channel trailer, how to cultivate engagement in your comments, and how to get more quality subscribers. Because quality subscribers is everything. That's how you're gonna make an impact. It doesn't take millions of subscribers. It only takes a few quality subscribers. And if someone's already watched one of your videos and discovered your channel, I'll show you how to convert that new viewer into someone who's in your tribe. Lastly, in the final level, I'll walk you through a few tips and tricks, like how to succeed on YouTube as a newbie creator, how to monetize your channel and start making money off of the YouTube videos you're making, and how to live stream, just like this webinar. So if I went back to day one and I told myself that there was a guide I could use that would give me the know-how and the confidence to build a YouTube channel, I would have loved it. And for Zero to YouTube Hero, everything you need to know is condensed into 35 videos and 4.5 hours of content. Literally, if you buy this today, you could go through the whole thing and you will be a YouTube hero by tomorrow. And you'll know everything you need to know to start building your thriving YouTube channel. You could also take it a step further because there's 16 videos and 8 hours of bonus content in Zero to YouTube Hero. The course is also completely self-paced, so take it on your own time whenever you want. You can pause, rewind, rewatch sections as much as you like, and you get lifetime access to the course. All of the updates and additions I add to the course in the future. So this course seriously is everything you need to know. I spent forever creating it because it's based off of not only my experience, but all the questions that people had when they saw me sharing my story and wanted to start YouTube channels on their own. So this is going to help you do it as efficiently as possible. Now, you have two options. Option number one, you could totally figure this out on your own. It's just YouTube. It's not rocket science. That's what I did. There are plenty of free tutorials on YouTube. There's growth hacks and blogs and all these other things that'll tell you how to get more subscribers and stuff like that. But all of that takes time and money if you're thinking about investing in equipment and stuff. Or maybe you're really busy right now, so you'll get to it tomorrow. Or you want to have everything perfect and ready so you can do this properly, right? But speaking from experience, there is no perfect time. And before you know it, it'll be excuse after excuse, holding yourself back, and time's just gonna fly by. Time that could have been spent creating videos, sharing your story, and making an impact. Now, your second option number two, you can invest $199 to learn from someone who has done this before, so you don't have to do the research or figure out what's relevant or figure out what things you need to learn first and then next and then next. You can get the blueprint that will walk you through setting up your channel, creating videos, building an audience, all neatly organized in one place that you can access at your convenience. And after Zero to YouTube Hero, you will have the confidence to start creating at least one video per week so that 30 days from now, you'll have 4 videos on your channel. If not more, but at least 4. That would be awesome. Also, if you enroll by the end of this webinar today, you'll get a free bonus 30-minute group coaching session with yours truly via Zoom. Because sometimes you just need to run your idea by someone. I get it. That's why people, message me and call me all the time because they just want to run their idea for a YouTube channel by me. I get it. And I would have really valued being able to talk to an experienced creator when I was first starting. So this is your chance to not only get my roadmap for YouTube with Zero to YouTube Hero, but you also have the opportunity to talk specifically about what you're struggling with and connect with other aspiring creators like yourself. But you do have to enroll by the end of this webinar. So finally, if you're still not sure about this YouTube thing or your ability to do this YouTube thing, I invite you to check out my YouTube channel and sort videos from oldest to newest. everything is there. You can see all 230 plus vlogs since the beginning. You can see how many times I said I had no idea what I was doing. You can see how my style developed. You can read the comments and watch my community grow literally from 0 to over 6,500 subscribers. My journey of going from 0 to YouTube hero all started with that very first YouTube video, and I am here to tell you, you can do this too! Yay! So, hello! I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while because I haven't. Yes, I hope you guys found that helpful. If you want to enroll in 0 to YouTube Hero, there's a link in the description underneath this video. And I'll also post it in the comments here. But again, if you enroll by the end of the webinar, you'll get a free group coaching session. And I know it'll be super helpful. So we can, use that as a hash out to talk about what you guys are struggling with more specifically. But of course, if you have any questions now, this is the Q&A time. I'm going to be peeking into the comments. Admittedly, I didn't look as often as I thought I was going to because I was focused on delivering this content with you guys. But I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you feel motivated to go sign off and make that first YouTube video. It's not something that you have to stress out over. It's not as scary as you might think it is. It's definitely not as scary to push upload and put it out there. It's a scary thing because you haven't done it. But once you do it, you'll start getting into a rhythm, and it'll start to feel really exciting, I promise. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. And I'm going to be here for the next 14 minutes. And yeah, if you have, if you're interested in 0 to YouTube Hero, link in the description underneath this video. And yeah, cool. I'm going to peek into the comments here. Rigier Educational Services, it says, this is very encouraging. Thank you. Looks like a fantastic course. Awesome. So Just Kisses says, when you first started editing, how long would it take you to edit your vlogs? I feel like it takes me such a long time. That is a very good question. Again, it's definitely going to depend on your editing, like what kind of editing you're doing. So like Tom, for example, who I talked about, his editing is he was using Final Cut Pro, which is a pretty advanced editing software from the beginning. Everything from speed ramps to transitions and fades and text and all of that. I was using iMovie for literally up until last month when I finally upgraded to Final Cut Pro. So when I was that first YouTube video took me hours to edit because I just didn't know what I was doing. It's a 3-part video, and honestly, if I were to make that YouTube video again, knowing what I know now, I would have made it a lot shorter. There's the first part where I'm talking about, this is my entrepreneurial journey and I'm embarking, yay. And then there's the 45 seconds of complete silence. And then there's this other part where I decided to take this quiz that entrepreneur.com had about whether you had what it took to be an entrepreneur. And I would have just X'd that part out. So if I had X'd that part out, it wouldn't have taken me very long. So it really just depends on, the story that you're telling. So yeah. Adoji says, do you think collabing with another YouTuber that makes music is a good idea? Yes, 100%. I do that all the time. I've talked about Julian Avila several times on my vlog. You can actually go to my YouTube channel and just search for music, and then you can see all the tutorial videos I've already done on where to find copyright music. But one of the music people that I collaborate with is Julian Avila. He's a kid who just graduated from high school, but has a passion for music, has been producing music for a couple years, and that's what he's going to college for. So because he's an up-and-coming artist, and you'll find this with a lot of people on SoundCloud and stuff, they want you to use their music in exchange, so for free, but in exchange for you crediting them in your video description. And oftentimes I like to put the text of who the person is, whose music I'm using on the actual video. So when people watch it, they can see their name, and it's just exposure for them as they're building their audience and getting their stuff out there. So yeah. Have you ever used the music that YouTube offers? That's a really good question. I use the music that YouTube offers to this day. I use SoundCloud and I collaborate with music artists, but sometimes I just, I need like a quick song that I don't want to go like off platform and try to find something. So I just go into the YouTube library. If you go to your creator studio, you can click on create and then you'll find the YouTube audio library, which is surprisingly pretty diverse and robust. You could sort by genre. So genre and mood. So if you're doing a more tutorial type video, there's really nice ambient music that you can have in the background. If you're doing, I don't know, a Halloween theme video, there's like scary music. You could sort by mood. There's happy, there's bright, there's angry if you want that. And then of course sorting by genre. So like rock, pop, jazz, and all of the music that is in the YouTube library is totally free for you to use. It was the only thing that I used, my only source of where to get music for a very long time on my YouTube vlog, on my YouTube videos. So I still use it. Otis McDonald, shout out. That's where I get his music. Otis McDonald is like my favorite. I love like the vibe and feel of his music. And you can go check out his music in the YouTube audio library. All right. Eco Hair Brader's course. Can you recap the coaching offer? Yeah, so for $200, you can enroll in Zero to YouTube Hero, and you'll get the entire course that'll walk you through from Zero to YouTube Hero. And then the bonus offer, if you enroll by the end of this webinar, 9 minutes, you're going to get a group coaching session. It's a 30-minute group coaching session. I would have made it an hour, but I'm using Zoom, and like the free package only allows me to do 40-minute group coaching calls. So yeah, it's like 30 minutes, and it'll be a group because I wanted to offer like a private session, but when I was thinking back to when I was first starting YouTube, I don't think I would have felt like confident enough to share my idea for YouTube channel just with like a seemingly pro YouTube creator. So that's why I wanted to have it be a group thing, so you don't feel like, I don't know, it kind of takes that intimidation away if you feel that. So yeah, and then I'll if you buy the course, I'll know that you bought the course, and I'll send you the link on when we could schedule the group coaching. So yeah, you can sign up for the course at zero2youtubehero.com/p/course. Awesome. So yeah, do you guys have any other questions? Oh, here's another one. What made you decide to start documenting? Was it part of your marketing plan? Thanks, Kissa, for the question. I started to document my journey. It's hard to explain because I was going through such a life change. I had put in like my resignation to my job, but I didn't actually leave the position for like a month. So it was like this ticking time bomb, and I didn't know what I was going to do after. So 22 days left on me not having a job is when I was like, okay, I need to start documenting this. I didn't know what it was going to be. And because I was watching Casey Neistat at the time, he was doing daily. And so I figured I could do daily. I didn't know what the daily was going to be, but I knew if I set the goal of just having to create a video every day, then I would figure it out. So that's what I did. I just was like, all right, set up the camera, talk. And I think for like a good 20 videos, because I remember the 21st video was when I actually took the camera out into the world. So for 20 videos, it was just me talking to myself and the camera at my desk, in my bedroom, in my office, in my car even. And I would just talk about like how I was feeling. And because I was doing it daily, there were updates every single day. I really did, I would talk to someone about my journey, and that made me realize a new thing. And I felt like, okay, that's the thing I'm going to be talking about today. 3, 4, 5, 7-minute videos. And then one day I was like, I think I would have more fun if I actually took the camera with me as I was going to meetings and meeting with people and stuff like that. So I definitely didn't have a plan. I had no plan, no strategy. But that's why I like Zero to YouTube Hero, because You can do it that way. You just figure it out as you go. Plenty of people have done that. But if you want to like efficiently and effectively grow an audience, especially because you're competing with all the content that's on there right now, there's strategies, there's things that you can do that will make it easier. It'll make it so that the one YouTube video that you can make or that you make has more potential to be discovered by your target audience, because you don't want every person on YouTube to subscribe to you. That's you inviting people that are not going to resonate with your content to start leaving troll comments, right? So you don't want to, your content isn't going to be for everybody. That's fine. But if in Zero to YouTube here, I explain, if you're creating content about this, who is your ideal viewer and how, what can you do with your video, the tags, the description and stuff like that to make it so that they discover you. And then that way it's less promotion on your part. Like that's the beauty about YouTube, is that it's a search engine. So just understanding that, knowing that, and doing the things you got to do to play to the YouTube algorithm will help the viewers who are already searching for the content that you talk about and that you could create, and just like connect it to them. So that's a lot of what I talked about in Zero to YouTube Hero. Gary Lopez, your webinar was so complete. I have no questions. Is that bad? No. So if you have no specific questions, that's cool. That makes me feel really good. Thank you. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh. I'm going to rewatch this and just like cringe at my voice shaking. But feel free to take this time to like ask me specific questions about your ideas. If you want to use that, if you want to put that out there to everybody. Let's see. I agree. This webinar was so thorough. Yay. I'm so glad. Ooh, what a relief. And Doji says, do you think variety channels are dead, or do you think YouTube works better with everything from one source? Very good question, Adoji. I would say it depends on how variety the variety channel is, because I think a lot of people can go to my YouTube channel and think it's a variety channel because every video looks different. There's no, common theme. You don't really, you can't say what my next video is about. I can't say what my next video is about. Although, that's why I say it depends on the variety, because it all, like for my content, it all falls under the umbrella of entrepreneurship and my entrepreneurial journey. And I always make sure that with every single video, even if it's me going to Switzerland, even if it's me on a boosted board, even if it's me talking about doing my first webinar, I always tie it back to my entrepreneurial journey. And that is the overlying theme, even though it's variety content. Now, if you're just, making videos about whatever, as long as you can establish what your brand is, right? So think about what someone, like if I were to discover your channel and then I need to go tell somebody about it, what would I say? How would I describe your channel? That's those like 3 to 5 sentences that I'm going to say is what you need to hone in on. You can still have variety content, but in order to kind of get your audience and your subscribers into a rhythm of like, this is the content that I'm actually subscribing to, that's really important. Once you build a following, you could start like, it would be easy to pivot if you need a change and stuff. But to the first 100 subscribers are the hardest. I'll tell you that right now, straight up. Everything else comes easier. It's the first 100 that's like brutally, so excruciatingly hard. Like you will check your phone and be like 1 subscriber, 2 subscriber, 3 subscriber, 57, 58. Like it's just so hard to start getting that traction. But then once you hit 100, your next 100 is going to get faster than your first 100. And then the next 100. Like today is so weird. I got 100 subscribers in like 2 days, and that's crazy. So, the momentum just keeps going and going and going. And even, I mentioned I kind of took a step back from my YouTube channel this summer to focus on my business stuff. It's still going to get views. People are still going to come. So that's why making your first video is really going to kick off that momentum. So, yeah. Aside from Casey, who are your biggest inspirations? That's a very good question. I don't watch YouTube as much as I used to because I spend a lot of time creating YouTube, and I actually feel guilty watching other YouTube videos because I know that it's like, okay, for the 10 minutes that I'm watching this YouTube video, that's 10 minutes I could have made a YouTube video for my subscribers that are waiting for my content. So I would say that the people that inspire me are the people I talked about in this webinar, which is you, Carissa, and Tom, and Mark and James. It's cool because I feel like we're on like such similar journeys in this whole YouTube world, and it's fun to figure it out together. So Regier says, you did a great job. Do you have any tips regarding sound? Very good question. Yes, if you are filming on your phone, oops, my countdown's over. Okay. If you're filming on your phone, do not use Zoom because obviously your mic is not zooming in, right? So if you're zooming because you're trying to capture, you're trying to film something that's further away, be aware that your microphone is not zooming. So definitely don't use Zoom. If you're using your phone, try to do this. It makes a big difference. So like, cup your phone and try to funnel the sound into the mic. There's microphones that you can get both for your phone and for your cameras and stuff like that. Another thing is if you have a camera, so here's the Canon S110 I'm using. My white one broke, but my dad had a black one, so I'm still using that same camera. But this has no external microphone, which is very troubling sometimes, especially if it's like windy or I'm in like, a public place where there's a lot of people. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll record video on here and then just kind of hide my iPhone underneath either me or the person I'm interviewing or whatever sound I'm trying to pick up and just record a voice memo on my phone. And then in the editing, you just sync it, right? So that's why in movies they have those clappers. It's to sync the video and the audio files. So just clap if you have to or whatever, make a big sound so that when you import both the video and the audio files, you'll be able to see that spike, that wave, and that's where you can sync. And it makes a huge difference. Sound, I think, is definitely something that people do not, they don't give it enough credit. YouTube videos are an experience. It's an experience to watch a YouTube video. It's not just going to the movie and then leaving. You really, can make an emotional impact with someone who's watching your video. And part of making that experience more immersive really is sound. Sound is huge. I mean, I have a whole video where it's really just sound. When I had to spend Christmas alone 2016, and that video is just, it was me talking in my car because, long story. Anyway, go watch it if you are interested. And let's see, Adoji says, sound, lighting, and storage are my biggest issues with my phone right now. Yes, I just got the warning on my phone that I am about to run out of storage. So I tried to get into a rhythm, get an external hard drive. Here you go. This is what I use. I have like 7 of these. This is the WD My Passport. Works for both Mac and PC. Get an external hard drive and just be really good. Going back to having a routine when you're, making your YouTube videos, you want to get really good at, as soon as I'm done recording, I take the memory card out, and transfer the files to the external hard drive. As soon as you're done recording with your phone, upload to your computer, put it on an external hard drive, and then delete so that, you never have full memory cards. You don't want to lose that memory card. So that's why I just try to get into that rhythm of, because I know storage is a huge thing that people struggle with. And lighting, use what you've got, now I have, I've invested in lighting, like the lights that are washing the wall behind me. But sun, the window, it makes a huge difference. And just, make sure that there's no light behind you. You don't want to be backlit because then you're going to be washed out. So try to find the window. There's a reason why for when I was living in my apartment for a lot of my vlogs, I vlogged on my bed because my bed was next to a huge window. It wasn't because I wanted to sit on my bed. It was literally to be by the window. And I could kind of block sound instead of being in the living room where there also was another window. So, yeah. All right. Ruggiero says, great tips. Thanks. Do you cover those editing issues in your course? Yes. Ruggiero, remind me, are you using a Mac or PC? I forget. I'm not sure if you mentioned this before. But in Zero to YouTube Hero, I do a whole editing tutorial through iMovie. So if you have iMovie, this will show you exactly how to use iMovie because it is very intuitive, but if you just want someone to show you how to do everything, there's a whole walkthrough on there. That was like the hardest tutorial in Zero to YouTube Hero to make. Oh my gosh. But if you don't have iMovie, it will still it'll show you the basics of editing because a lot of editing programs are the same. You're basically importing footage, creating libraries, and then just cutting and rearranging. I know I'm like dumbing it down, but that's like the fundamentals of editing. You've got your footage, you're just going to cut, you're going to rearrange, you're going to add another layer of sound, or you're going to add another layer of text. Any basic editing software or app, even on your phone, this is how they all work. The time that you want to start investing into or looking into investing into an editing program is when you want to start doing the more complicated things, like having several layers. So like if I wanted text here, that's going to be a layer. And if I wanted to change the color on top of the text, like that's another layer. If I want to do a picture-in-picture, kind of like what you guys are seeing, that's another layer. And in iMovie, you can only have one additional layer on top, which is really frustrating. But hey, I used iMovie for like 200 vlogs, so I totally believe in it. Yeah, and for PC, I would recommend DaVinci Resolve, but that's a free software. But there's a ton out there. Let's see. I don't have iMovie, not an Apple user, but thank you. I'm sure you cover so much great info. Awesome. So, my timer ran out, and I'm still here answering your questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this helpful. And remember, if you sign up for Zero to YouTube Hero, I'm about to log off. So like now, then I'll give you the group coaching session through Zoom, and I have the ability to do screen share. So if you want to like see kind of the back end on YouTube, or if you want me to take a look at your channel, do a channel audit, or show you how to make thumbnails, whatever, this is that time. You have like 30 minutes with other aspiring creators to chat with me more about specifically your channels. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much. Give this video a thumbs up, even though it's a webinar. I will send you the replay, and I appreciate you being here.